Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Aquarius, tonight we have the Hanged Man. And I know this is often thought of as a negative card to receive, but I assure you that it usually is not. And actually, it's kind of an invitation to decide for yourself what you're going to let go of. What are you going to sacrifice? What are you going to, clean, declutter your life of? And you get to decide. Because, listen, we all have things going on. People in our lives, objects in our lives, things that we're doing, habits, and so on, right? That don't serve us well anymore. But we keep dragging it along with us, or we keep showing up, or we keep, going through the cycles with somebody. And it's like, all right, here we have a chance. A very clear chance to decide something's got to go, right? Okay, let's see. I'm being so careful picking it up because I dropped it a few readings ago. Oh, all right. So here we go. Thank you so much for clicking on the reading. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'm so happy to meet you, to have you here in this space where we can exchange energies and ideas. And if you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you again. All right, so it looks like we have I almost am seeing this as the name Emily jumbled up. We have E or L-E-M here, I and a Y over here. So it feels like Emily, although maybe not, right? It might not be an Emily. It could also be L-E-M or I-L-E-M. I'm trying to see what else. What else do we have? Yeah, listen, sometimes they're just letters. They're all over the place. They don't always go together in a coherent word. But sometimes you have to just kind of rearrange them or take the part that really stands out to you. So maybe you do know somebody named like Mel, or you know somebody named M, or so that is there. We also have, and I noticed, so it looks like it says I, capital I, we have a heart down here, love, and this looks like it says you, Y-O-U. So I feel like to start this whole thing off, you have a lot of love and support, okay? You have at least one person who really has your back, is really going to show up for you no matter what. I feel like it's probably more than one person. This might be like your family unit or friends group or whatever it is. And I feel like there's a sense of, I'm thinking of like a blanket being wrapped around your shoulders. It's really cold and somebody comes and they put this nice fluffy blanket on you and you feel warm and you feel safe and you feel like you can trust in that you are thought of and cared for and included and even just considered, right? And so I feel like we are working from a really beautiful place to start off. It's a good foundation, right? And so there is that. Now, I kind of want to go this way. We have a person sitting here, kind of in a meditative state, and the head would be here, gazing downwards. Now, right here, we have the horse, right? But it looks like a horse kind of sitting, looking at the person, and the person's looking at the horse. And the horse often symbolizes the desire to move, change. Now, it doesn't mean really like you want to move homes, or maybe you want to go to a different town, or you've been dreaming of moving to the ocean or something. Now, it could be that, right? But more often than not, I think it's so much about like, there's something in my life that I find, tedious or overwhelming, or it feels oppressive or stagnant, right? And I'm at that place where it has to change. I'm not going to live this way anymore. I want something else in my life, or I don't want anything at all, right? So I feel like you're coming to this like deeper understanding about, maybe it is that like you've been walking through your life recently feeling really sad, or maybe you've been feeling really angry, really sensitive about things. Maybe, there's just this feeling of like the wheels are turning, but I don't know where I'm going because there's no traction here. It's just, I'm staying right in the spot. And I feel like there's really the desire, the wanting to get out of this feeling, right? To change just like the atmosphere of your being. And I believe that if you haven't already, you will very quickly here come to an understanding of what is kind of at the root of this, right? Because it's not just the like regular things. Like I'm so angry, I have to, mop my floors. Although, yeah, I'm so tired of mopping floors, but it's not just the thing, right? It's not the thing on the surface. It's something deeper than that, right? For me, let me work this map out for myself. I am so tired of mopping floors. I'm so tired of taking care of things that are just going to get, destroyed or dirty instantly, But where does that come from? Why do I don't have a desire to be cleaning things? Well, I never was taught to, right? I didn't grow up in a lifestyle where these things were prioritized or taught to me. It's kind of just like a frustrated, fine, I'll just do it. Don't worry about it. I'll do it, and this kind of energy, right? So I kind of equate cleaning, a lot of times, I have gotten into a place where I do enjoy taking care of the house to some degree, right? But there are other days, yes, where I go deep down into this like place where it just equates to anger and frustration and, not being given the time, the effort to teach me, to be with me, to show me how to do things properly, to help me learn how to have a routine, a cleaning routine. So it's not like every, few weeks I'm like, oh yeah, I should, wipe down the counters and mop the floors. No, you should be doing this, as often as necessary for your household, and that's different for all of us. But this is just my example, right? To help you kind of envision your own discovery of what is going on. Why are you wanting to make this change? Because here's the thing. When people tell you you can't move away from your problems, they'll follow you everywhere. So true. It might not feel like it at first, Because you're going through this change. It's exciting, it's stressful, it's different. And you're not paying attention to that aching feeling or that, chaos or that, hunger or that whatever it is. But then it starts to come up and you start to see it again. It starts to show itself. So I feel like with this meditative person being mirrored by this change, it really tells me that you are coming to an understanding about yourself. You have the desire to change something about your life, but also, and more importantly, changing your own reactions, how you deal with things, how you, not only process your emotions, but how do you let them manifest in your life? And I think that's the big thing here. And so I do see this change happening. Now, maybe it's like you want a different job or, you decide to go back to school or, you didn't know if you wanted to have a second kid or whatever, and you decide, yes, we're going to do it, or, whatever. I feel like this is like a very intentional move, okay? And so I'm excited for you on all of these levels, right? Doing the interpersonal work, being brave and making the change and sticking to whatever it is, whatever your goal is, whatever you envision for yourself. I see it all happening. All right, so we also have, which is the other sign of change, is the sailboat. I was going to say speedboat. It's not the speedboat. This is a sailboat. And the sail looks like it is full of wind. It is moving. So I feel like this change is going to come swiftly for you. And you're going to start to see the improvement quickly. Okay? It feels like night and day. Whatever it is that you're changing about your life, it feels completely different. In 6 months from now, I imagine you will be living a completely different life, or at least it will feel like that. Like you can't even remember what it was like before. I mean, you can, but it feels almost wildly like, what was I doing? What took me so long? But it will come. It will come quickly. Now, we also have, it looks like a jellyfish right here. And the jellyfish often, it reminds me of the unconscious. That's what I immediately think. But it's also kind of this thing where it's like you can observe these abstracts and these forms, or these things becoming forms, and these concepts and scenarios that play out in your life, but you don't always want to embrace them, right? Because sometimes when we really grasp onto something that is not for us, it stings, right? It could even be super poisonous to our well-being, toxic even. So I feel like for this, it's really kind of a warning here. Whatever it is that you are going for and the choices that you're making, just remember to also temper yourself a little bit. Right? Don't overshoot. Don't get a little overzealous. But we're talking to an Aquarius, so I know. Tempering self, being realistic about your expectations. I'm always like, set the bar a little bit low, because then I'll leap over it and I can congratulate myself. And then we'll let it up a little bit, baby steps upwards, right? And so, yeah, I do. I think it is just to be mindful, be discerning, okay? Let's see, what else? so it looks like we have maybe JT, the letters JT. And we have, it looks like, oddly enough, somebody scrubbing the floor. It looks like a person scrubbing the floor up here with their head, and their body is kind of leaned over, and their arms are, and they're scrubbing. Over here, it looks like we have a fish on a pole. So the fish represents money coming in. And catching it means, yeah, you got it. But we also have this other person over here. And I almost feel like it's like this, it's almost like two sides, right? One, working hard, making the money, putting it away, you know, working towards your goals. The other part is kind of nonchalant, or, you know, really frivolous with the money that comes in. So you like work hard and you're like, I have this plan, I'm going to put the money away. And then, you know, almost immediately it's like, well, maybe I should buy that new video game, or maybe I should, you know, I don't know, whatever people are buying. Maybe I should go buy a new, you know, whatever. I can't even think of, like, I was going to say purse, but that seems like way too stereotypical. Although I do myself want a different bag. Listen, I buy cheap purses, so, like from the flea market type of stuff. But yeah, like immediately you have the money. It's like, it's burning a hole in your pocket. That's the phrase, right? And so I feel like this is really where, you know, the tempering comes in again, surrendering to your better judgment. And so that seems important. But the most important thing is there is money coming in, right? The way the world is right now, how expensive things are, it's, you know, it's a lot. We're all stressed out about money. I mean, I can't think of one person that isn't. And so, you know, I think it's easy to, when you do start having a little money come in or a little extra, it's easy to want to treat ourselves, which of course, like if that's what you want to do it. No judgment. I like treats too. But, you know, sometimes we have to remind ourselves, listen, this is good right now, but who knows what's going on in the future here, right? Who knows what things will be like in the next, you know, year, 2 years, whatever. So, you know, having a plan and sticking to it. And I see and I understand fully in my heart of hearts that balance and battle and all of that. But I really do, I see you figuring it out, right? It's not going to be something that you like succumb to and you like, you know, lose all of your savings or something like that. I don't see that. I think it's like a reminding self to stay on track. Okay. Now, we also have, it looks like musical notes. So music seems important here. We also have, it looks like the head of a cow and an arrow. We have the number 6 over here. So this is, it feels like a mother figure, but maybe actually like a mom friend is what they call it, I guess. Like a friend who feels like a mom at times, somebody who will give you good advice, who is, you know, concerned with your well-being, who checks in on you, you know, is just kind of living as a square, basically, you know, and honestly, being the mom friend is pretty awesome. I like being a mom friend. But I do feel like whatever friendship you have that is like this is the friendship that you need to be cultivating right now, because this is a person that's going to help you keep focused. Keep focused. Keep focused, right? And with that arrow, I do feel like there is the love. I can't, ignore that we have the arrow. We have some kind of love rising, rising, rising. And I think that's part of why, we have 400. Yeah, 400. So I didn't, here, can we see that? 400. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yes, about the arrow. So, yeah, I do feel like it's almost kind of a I don't know. Maybe it's a distraction. Maybe it's like the sweetness of the situation, right? Like you're doing so well. The universe like gives you a little, a little flirtation. Here's your, here's the due of the thing, right? It could be something like that. But I think having this friend in your life will help you stay focused, right? That's not to say that you are avoiding love or you're abandoning love or you're swearing off love. Maybe you are, I don't know. But I think it's kind of like, don't let this become the focus of everything. Don't let this be that deciding factor. Don't let this be your core motivation. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. We've all been super in love. We've all been silly in love. We've all made choices that we knew weren't going to benefit us because we were in love. And, sometimes you need a voice of reason. You need a friend to tell you, hey, remember what you wanted to do in January? Well, you got to focus on that. You got to get back to work. You have goals to meet. You're on deadline here, But with the musical notes too, I feel like music is going to be really important for you in this next cycle of time. I just feel like you're around music. It's playing, you're hearing it in the car, you're hearing it out, at the stores, maybe, you have kids, they're listening to music. You're watching a movie and you hear a beautiful song that you love. Or maybe you're also a music nerd like myself. I always have music on. And I feel like that's it's a wonderful thing if you're a person that likes the sound of music or the noise of music. Some people don't, like my husband. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. Now, he likes music, but he's not into music being on all the time. And my daughter and I love music, and we like loud music, And so we have to come to some compromises. But yes, if you're somebody who likes music, just get into that. Even if you're not sure if you like music anymore. Maybe it's been years since you went exploring for new stuff. Yeah. Take out those records, dust them off, listen to some of the good old tunes. Put on the stuff your parents used to listen to. Get nostalgic. There's nothing better than that, unless you have, bad memories attached to it. Of course, don't do that. But yeah, listening to the stuff you used to hear when you were a kid, that is such a wonderful feeling. Definitely. Okay, so we're going to do our lucky numbers. That one barely 87. I'm trying not to hit everything. Sometimes I just let it go too much. Oh, there we go. That was number 55. 87, 55, and let's see. 41. We're going to go 41. There you go. 41. All right. Now, and it's getting so late. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how late it is. I think I said this in this reading, but I explained it in my other ones. I did all of my readings this morning, and I was so proud of myself for being done early. There was no sound on them. So now it's very late at night, and I'm doing my readings. It's probably why I sound goofy. I'm just I'm tired, and I drank too much coffee. But anyways, these are self-care affirmation cards. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, still pond. I am at peace. I observe my breath and my mind is still. I am a still pond. I am a still pond. All right. Very much like that meditative formation we saw. All right. I think that's it. All right. Aquarius, I love you. I want to thank you for being here with me. Thank you for clicking on the reading. And if you would be so kind as to either like the video, maybe you want to subscribe to the channel, maybe you want to leave a comment and let me know what's going on with you. I would love to hear from you. I love hearing from I love hearing from everybody. I've been getting a lot of emails lately, and so if you have emailed me and I haven't responded, I'm going down the list here, and every day it seems like more are coming in, but I am I'm getting through them, and I will get back to you, I promise. I'm not going to ignore your email. But yeah, I love hearing from people in all the places. So yeah, Aquarius, we'll talk in a few days. Good night. Take care of yourself. I love you.